Find a Way by Patrick G. McLean. Part 4. This is the final leg of this mid-1980s story for teenagers and adults. Cocaine addiction has left Paul mentally deranged. Missing, will Bobby and Kenny find him alive? Will Kenny develop a closer relationship with Winsome? Part 4 of 4. Chapter 16b. I can bet Paul's picture will be in the newspaper tomorrow, either in the missing persons column or in the obituary if the body found on the beach turns out to be him, Bobby says reflectively. Do you think he's, Kenny's voice cracks, finding it unsettling to say the word dead, since the situation involves a known teenager. Bobby gulps more soda. I hope he's still alive. Appearing sympathetic to what has been said, the woman steps up close behind Bobby and taps him on the shoulder. A warm smile highlights the fine lines of aging on her face. Excuse me, she says gently. I overheard you talking about a missing boy. This morning, around 10, I saw a boy about your age in the Catholic churchyard. I thought it was strange because the church was locked and he was the only one there. I remember wondering why he wasn't in school, but I dismissed the thought, thinking he might have been on an afternoon shift. Come to think of it, he was acting odd, like someone with emotional problems, and holding something that looked like a rope. Thanks, ma'am, Bobby says. Kenny, I think we should stop at the church after the rain lets up. Are you thinking it might have been Paul? Your guess is as good as mine. If that were Paul, I'm worried about one thing. What was he doing with a rope? I hope his head wasn't in such a state of flux that he decided suicide was the only way out. Suicide? Oh no, Kenny gasps. You better believe it. I, shouldn't be imagining terrible things, but it's, hard not to imagine what can happen to someone thinking irrationally. It's possible he could have hung himself. Suddenly, Bobby has a vivid vision of Paul in a hallucinatory state. He sees the pitiful teen lying in his vomit and urine on the dirty floor of an abandoned building. He's holding his clammy body, which twitches as if pricked by needles and pins, and pleading, please, please, for another fix, thinking it will make things better. Bobby finishes his soda and places the empty bottle on the counter, saying, Kenny, from what I've seen on television and read, cocaine will make you desperate for it while dragging you down to rock bottom. You must be strong-minded to resist the lure pulling many toward that substance, or you'll eventually become like a spooked horse galloping unconsciously straight into a wall to destruction. Kenny nods his head, appreciating the advice that cocaine can warp or destroy minds and bodies. Is the missing boy related to any of you? The lady inquires. No, ma'am. He's our classmate, Bobby replies. Is he in some kind of trouble? She asks. I'm afraid so. Assuming he's still alive, Bobby says, being mindful of the unidentified victim of the shark attack and not ruling out the strange boy with a rope. Ma'am, I'm hoping he's alive. Me too, Kenny puts in earnestly. The woman shifts her gaze from the boys to the sky. The rain is letting up. I'll have to hurry home to cook, she mumbles. She steps out into the sporadic drizzles. Good luck finding your friend, she says, giving them a parting wave and walking quickly away. Thanks, ma'am, Bobby replies, jiggling a hand. Bye. The boys also exit the shop. Man, it's getting dark and I'm hungry. Let's go straight home instead of stopping at the church, Kenny remarks, wanting to change Bobby's mind. I doubt if we'll find anyone there. Bobby's attitude remains positive. Maybe we won't, but we should at least look. Chapter 17. Darkness begins to creep over Vineyard Town as Kenny and Bobby arrive at the church. The name Holy Child Church is displayed on the horizontal saltire of a wooden cross on a concrete base near the fence. In Kenny's vivid imagination, the gray Gothic-style building looks like a spooky castle against the dreary clouds. The colorful window panes of the tall, tracery-arched windows have lost their vibrancy in the heavy, settling shadows, and the belfry tower with its steeple holds a gloom that seems inviting to bats, evoking a sense of vampires. However, he thinks that a small cross, which he notices on the spire of the steeple, will stand guard, as always, against evil intruders, just like in the scary movies. "Come on, Kenny," Bobby says. "Let's check the grounds before it gets too dark." Kenny hesitates. "Somehow, I think this is all a waste of time," he says dryly. "Listen, we need to follow up on our only lead." Reluctantly, Kenny sidles through the partly open gates, following his determined friend into the damp asphalt churchyard. He steps cautiously toward the enclosed building and nervously glances over his shoulder to see if anyone might be watching from the street or the houses across the way. "What should we do now?" he asks gruffly, clearly uncomfortable with trespassing in the churchyard. "Relax, bro, check the back. You might find something." "Yeah, like a couple of duppies," he replies, referring to ghosts. "Me not going round day alone." "No way," he utters, flaring up in a mixture of English and patois while pouting. "A graveyard is in the back, so I not go near there, especially when it's getting dark." No, saw, not me." Bobby titters softly. "Okay, I'll go. In the meantime, find a clear window to look through and check into the church." He then paces away. Grumbling gibberish, Kenny strolls lazily toward the building and finds a window that offers a good view of the interior. Scanning the shadowy sanctuary from back to front, his gaze follows a red carpet lining the aisle between rows of pews facing a rostrum with a lectern. A nativity mural, seemingly lulled by ethereal hands, rests silently on the wall in the background. Everything appears normal to him. There is no sign of anyone. After a while, Bobby rejoins him. "Anything?" Bobby asks. "Nah," he answers, sounding abrupt. "Let's get out of here." "Yeah, we might as well." As they walk toward the gates, Bobby turns his head to admire the attractive building. "It's a beautiful church," he comments. "The architecture is lovely. Look at the bell tower. It looks like a rocket ready to blast off." "Oh yeah," Kenny chuckles, considering that the church has an abstract appeal. Earlier, the tower looked creepy in his mind's eye. "Yeah, you're right," he agrees, turning around to see the tower from Bobby's perspective. It does look like a rocket. He stares at it for a moment, but something else catches his eye in the gloomy belfry. "Hey, look! Look at that!" he exclaims loudly, pointing. What?" Bobby responds. "Look. Something that looks like a rope is hanging there, beside the bell." "Oh my goodness. You're right, and it seems like it shouldn't be there." "Do you think Paul is up there?" Kenny asks. "Only one way to find out. Let's see." Again, Kenny hesitates. You go ahead. I'll wait here. Rats and rat-bats might be in there." Bobby rushes to the tower. As he slowly opens the door, a musty smell hits him, mixed with the scent of rat droppings. He tilts his head into the stinky tower and looks straight into the darkness. He mutters. "See anything?" Kenny asks, sounding concerned. "No. I can't see the rope from here. There's a ladder leading up to a platform." "Are you going up there?" "Might as well. This door won't stay open. Come hold it for me so it won't be too dark inside while I climb the ladder." This time, Kenny cooperates without complaining and rushes to the tower to help. "Gee!" Bobby exclaims halfway up the ladder, his voice echoing off the conical walls of the structure. "What's wrong? Bats?" "Nah, man. Cobwebs," he replies, brushing spider webs off his face, hair, and overhead. "I don't believe you should go any further. Cobwebs indicate no one has climbed up that ladder recently, and bats are probably up there," Kenny surmises. "Maybe. I want to see why the rope is up there. It's dark inside here. Can't the door open any wider?" "No, it can't." Kenny looks around to see if anyone is watching him, still feeling uneasy about trespassing on the premises. Again, he grows impatient. "I think we should leave. Someone might catch us." "Just a few steps to go. And keep you cool, nah man. You're making me nervous. Bobby finally reaches the belfry platform, but before climbing on, he scans the shadowy interior. Gee, he exclaims again, louder this time. What's the matter? Bats? Kenny asks. It's Paul. He's up here. Aghast, Bobby stares at the taut rope hanging from the beam holding the bell. The rope we saw from the gate is around his neck. Is he alive? Kenny asks, sounding choked up. I don't know. Almost immediately, Bobby steps onto the platform and leans over Paul's lifeless body, which is lying in a fetal position. He is scared and worried as he touches the body with the back of his hand. He feels cold. I'll check if he has a pulse. His trembling fingers search for a vein on Paul's wrist. Anything? Kenny asks nervously. Can't get up. Bobby's shuddering voice fades out as he tests different parts of Paul's arm for a pulse. Please, God, let him be alive, he prays silently. Oh my goodness. No, he wails. He can't be. The grief in his tone makes Kenny feel nauseous. Bobby, my stomach doesn't feel right. Kenny quickly inhales and exhales fresh air to relieve his queasiness. Kenny, quickly ride your bicycle and get help, comes a desperate request. Is he? I still don't know, man. Hurry. In the meantime, I'll try CPR, like, pumping his chest. Chapter 18. Mrs. Henry, Paul's mother, arrives at the public hospital promptly, taking only 10 minutes by car, half the expected time. Her hair is slightly tousled, as if she just got out of bed. However, in her rush to leave home, she tried to smooth it with her hands. She is still dressed in her home clothes, a wrinkled V-neck shirt, jeans, and slippers. Over the past 2 days, she has had no rest or sleep. The distress of not knowing if her son is alive has worn her down. Still overwhelmed with worry, the 38-year-old mother looks exhausted and older, with stress lines creasing her usually smooth forehead as she nervously paces the ER hallway, which has cubicles with drapes. Bobby and Kenny sit quietly on a nearby bench, looking concerned. After a while, a young, small-framed doctor of Indian descent steps out of one of the cubicles and approaches her. He has one hand in his white lab coat pocket and a stethoscope hanging from the other. He appears serious. Will he be okay, doctor? She asks in a weak, hopeful voice. Mrs. Henry, he says mildly, your son did regain consciousness, but he's sleeping now. Despite his fragile condition, I had to give him a mild sedative as a precaution to calm him down from getting hysterical when waking up. Are you aware your son is addicted to cocaine? Doctor, I had no idea. Bobby and Kenny just told me. A pocket-sized case was found on him. It contains a straw and a razor blade with traces of a white powder identified as cocaine, and I'm sure when samples of his blood and urine are tested, they will also come back positive, he tells her. I just can't understand why. Why? She snivels, more with disappointment than incredulity. Paul has everything for his comfort, and my husband and I spend quality time with our children. Wrinkles of worry deepen on her baffled face. I can't understand why he would want to take an illicit drug. Why? There are many reasons why adolescents turn to drugs, such as experimentation or peer pressure. Maybe Paul was convinced the drug would improve his physique or help him forget a problem, he explains. Paul is hooked, and when he wakes up, his main goal will be to inhale and get high on coke. He will be admitted for a few days until he regains his strength, but in his state of addiction, there's not much we can do for him here. It's going to take more time to overcome his chronic dependency on cocaine. Mrs. Henry, in a nutshell, he's unstable in both his mental and physical states. The diagnosis alarms her. She exhales deeply. Her head and shoulders slump. She looks at Bobby and Kenny. They offer her a sympathetic glance. It's that bad, huh? She asks the doctor. He will need to be placed in a treatment program with a support group for drug addicts, And I also recommend psychotherapy since he was suicidal. Doctor, I'll do anything that will cure him and make him normal. While I prepare the referrals to the specialists, you can check on your son. I know you're eager to see him. Thank you, doctor. He escorts her to Paul's cubicle and leaves after entirely pulling back the drape at the entrance. Bobby and Kenny start heading out of the ER. Kenny says earnestly, "Man, I am truly sorry for Paul. It looks like you're overcoming an aversion to him." Good for you, Bobby commends him. Do you think he'll tell anyone about the hit and run? I hope so, at least to ease his conscience. Anyway, he'll have to. It's no longer a secret, so he'll have to face the music. Police will be involved. Yeah. I hope any of his friends using hard drugs realize the danger when reflecting on this horrifying situation and, stop or get help to stay away from drugs. Yeah. You know, we can help promote drug awareness in our school by asking for approved handouts to be made available. True. Bobby yawns and looks at his wristwatch. It's way past dinner time. Man, I can't wait to get home and eat. Me too. My stomach's growling like crazy. We should call our parents and let them know where we are. While approaching a phone booth near the exit of the reception area, Kenny says, "You know, Bobby, if it hadn't been for your persistence, Paul would not have been found alive. I'm also realizing that I should work on mending my selfish and impatient ways. It's a privilege to have a positive, courageous friend like you. You're an inspiration." Chapter 19. 14 girls from Crawford High are practicing netball on the school court near the main playing field. The girls wear polo shirts and pleated netball skirts. Tags on the front and back of their blouses display their positions: GS, WA, GA, C, WD, GD, and GK. One or two passers-by slow down and glance briefly at the girls. Kenny stands among a few spectators by the court, enjoying his role as a photographer and sports reporter for the magazine committee. He takes photos of the girls in action as two teams compete to score a net and earn the most points. Len stands next to him, looking over the photos taken during the cadet inspection a week ago. "Hey, they came out great. Very nice," he remarks with a smile. "Yeah, man." Very professional, Kenny responds just as enthusiastically, leaning toward him to look at the photos. "This one, for instance, is a good shot of the band, right?" "Yeah, I might have taken it." While looking through the pictures, Len finds a random photo with 3 puppies. Kenny notices the surprised look on his face. "I couldn't resist taking that picture of those puppies," Kenny quickly discloses, tittering. "Did your dog have pups?" Len asks, looking at the picture. "Yes, 4 days ago." "These pups are lovely," Len remarks agreeably. "What breed are they?" "Fox Terrier." "Nice, nice," Len rejoins, nodding as he hands all the photos to Kenny. After a few seconds, he spots a familiar girl with crimped hair leaving the cafeteria and approaching. He motions with his head and says, "Here comes Winsome." Greeting her warmly, their big smiles welcoming her as she joins them. "Hi, Prefect," and "Hi, Kenny," she chimes in. "Are those the snapshots of the cadets for the yearbook?" "Yep," Kenny answers quickly, handing her all the photos except one. "What about that one?" she asks him. "This is just a picture of some puppies." Her eyes light up. "Puppies?" she asks excitedly. "Can I see them?" He hands her the photo of the dogs. "Oh, they are so cute, so cuddly," she says adoringly, as if wanting to pluck one of them right out of the picture and cuddle it. "I wish I had one of these puppies." He smiles. "You can have one, anyone you want." "Really? That's great. Thanks, Kenny. I've always wanted a puppy like those. This must be my lucky day." As usual, her beautiful smile works like a spell, causing the shy boy's eyes to flicker on and off her adorable face. Her cheerful demeanor makes him feel wonderful inside. A smile lingers on her face as she begins browsing through the pictures of the cadets. Her expression also shows that she likes what she sees. "They're nice, huh?" Len says to her. "Love 'em," she responds. "By the way, my 12th grade friends and I will have a pre-prom party in 2 weeks. It will be on a Friday after school in the gym," Len tells them. "I'm inviting everyone who is on the magazine committee, although you all are 11th graders. Will you be able to come, Winsome and, Kenny?" "I'd love to," she replies. "But I'll need an escort." Feeling lighthearted, Kenny quickly says, as if in jest, "May I volunteer?" "You certainly can," she says sweetly, casting a lovely sidelong glance. "But I'm afraid I'm not a very good dancer," he admits. "You'd be surprised how quickly you can learn. I'll teach you." "So, is it a date?" "Yes, yes," he responds, feeling thrilled. His spirit within him does a 360-degree flip, a joyous one. "She did use the word date, right?" he questions himself. "Wow," he shouts inwardly. He is delighted that he will be going on his very first date, and it will be with Winsome. Another joyous "wow" pops into his head. Right now, he feels lucky, like a sweepstakes winner. He imagines holding her close as they waltz to a slow love song, maybe to a not-too-old favorite like "3 Times a Lady" by the Commodores, and then his daydreams would become reality. He raises his camera as if he wants to take more shots of the netball players, but he points the lens at her, thinking he would love to get a photo of her. "You talking me picture," she joshes. "Go ahead." Acting playfully, she strikes a girlish pose, her dazzling smile complementing it. Click, the shutter sounds, capturing his prized snapshot. "Perfect," he whispers. He rejoices with an inward wow once more. He is overflowing with joy. Chapter 20. With a cheerful smile, Kenny watches Winsome picking red roses and pruning plants in her rose garden. The puppy he just gave her happily scampers across the yard, getting familiar with its new home. With every move, a small bell on its collar jingles. Stooping, Winsome snaps her fingers while making the familiar call with puckering lips to get the frisky pup to come to her. "Poo poo poo," sounds off from her lips again. The puppy scampers to her outstretched arms. She snatches it up and cuddles it against her head. "I'll call him Jingle," she says. "I like that name," Kenny replies, nodding. "He's so cute." "Thanks again," she expresses delightfully. "I'm glad you're pleased," he says softly. Feeling carefree, she picks a rosebud from a straw basket on the ground and gives it to him. Beaming with appreciation and sporting a broad smile, he accepts the unusual gift, since girls don't usually give flowers to guys. He sniffs the rose, trying to appear very cool. One thought urges him to croon, "Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you," coming from an old quote, but another strongly advises that it's best not to come on too strong at first. She giggles awkwardly and says, "You know, I was mortified when you, Bobby, and Sam thought I was pregnant. And come to think of it, that's been one of the things I guard myself against. My parents taught me that I should first establish myself as a young person and always remember that sex doesn't hold a relationship. There was nothing between Paul and me. He just invited me to a party. I went because I enjoy dancing and being with friends. Deep down, he's a good person, but his popularity has gone to his head. He's going through a tough time, and I empathize with him. I hope he recovers quickly, and that whatever he's going through will shape him into a better person." Kenny nods. "Yeah. Remember your offer to take me to Len's pre-prom party," she mentions, gently stroking the puppy's back. "Winsome, I wouldn't miss it for the world," he says with enthusiasm. "By the way, what's your sign?" "Zodiac sign?" "Yeah, a Taurus, I think." Although the astrological book claims her sign is not primarily compatible with his, He is not disappointed at all because he finds himself very attracted to her and can tell she likes him too, and he knows. These are what really matter instead of assumptions in a book. I trust in God, so I'm not into astrology, she adds. Some of my girlfriends are. They find the daily horoscope in the newspaper entertaining. I know a girl who is a fanatic. She molds her life from the daily predictions, but that's crazy. Yeah, I totally agree, he responds, nodding. Anything turning out exactly as predicted would be a coincidence or something one had hoped for. Silence follows. He gazes at the beautiful rosebud in his hand, thinking it might be the same rose he considered picking to give her when he delivered the get well card, and ironically, it is now a gift from her. With his shyness gone, he looks up at the gorgeous girl standing in front of him, and their eyes meet. 'Twas an engaging moment. During the brief quiet, his gaze shifts to the puppy cradled in loving arms, and he flashes a heartfelt smile, imagining those arms wrapped around him. Kenny, would you like a cool drink and a slice of potato pudding? She asks. Sure. Thanks, comes his prompt reply to the offer, yet he would have agreed with anything to prolong his time with her. I baked the pudding, so please don't criticize my cooking, she says teasingly, flashing her alluring smile. I give you my word of honor that I'll enjoy every bit, every crumb. She giggles. You'd better, or I'll sick Jingle on you. She holds the puppy up high in front of her face, saying, and what would you like, my little prince? I can bet you'd like some milk, right? He smiles, admiring how gently she's handling the newborn. I can see Jingle is in good hands. I envy him. You do. Playfully, she aims the puppy's head at his, saying, sick him, Jingle, and growling. He dodges, amused by her good-humored tease, as they enjoy each other's company. A note for teens, take care of your bodies, and keep it real. Avoid consuming harmful substances. Be free of drugs, liquor, and tobacco smoke. Always be cognizant that life has value in any situation.